All around me are familiar faces in new places and new places. So there's a bit of a kerfuffle this week as the Minnesota Vikings former co-regional defensive coordinator / linebackers coach, nailed it, / Zims kid Adam Zimmer rejoined the Cincinnati Bengals as an offensive consultant. So it's from Dan Horde, Bengals beat writer. Nice to see Adam Zimmer back after spending the last 8 years on his dad's Mike staff in Minnesota. I was like, I like that Danny even just put that into his daddy's staff. Just twisting the knife a little bit. Adam has been linebacker coach with the Saints, Chiefs, Bengals, and Vikings. He's been serving as an offensive consultant for Zach Taylor. Can critique it from a different perspective. And Field Yates put that out there as well. Blah, 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 blah. So Adam Zimmer got his start, respect, not on his dad's staff where he was with the Saints, where he won a ring with the 2009 Saints. That's why I never liked him. He was part, because, So he was an assistant defensive coach on that Saints defense from 2009. Like he didn't know. Also with the Chiefs, he joined the Bengals 2013 before Zim got the job here with the Vikes in 2014. Also, since this is poo-pooing on the media day, Chris Thomason, Pioneer Press, indications are Adam Zimmer, ex-Vikings assistant, this is from a couple days ago, and son of blah, 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 is returning to the role of the Bengals, whom he was assistant for in 2013. He put this photo on Instagram. When I called Adam today to ask about his Bengals role, he said, no comment. That and Anthony Barr hanging up on him. It's just funny. It's just funny. It's good times, man. But, Adam Zimmer had been co-regional defense coordinator with Andre Patterson, but, of course, Zimmer was still calling the defensive plays last year, as he has been his MO during his time with the Vikings. But, didn't work out. Whatever. But I just wanted to catch up on where the Viking staff last year has now ended up because, the NFL means not for long for players, but it certainly does mean it for coaches as well because what's the average stay for a head coach in the league? Maybe 4 years? Probably. And assistants get turned over all the time. Either they're moving up, leveling up to getting better jobs or finding different jobs or taking a step back. So Zimmer, free agent. We're putting this on the table right now. I think 100% the Cowboys head coach next year is going to be Sean Payton, and I think their defense coordinator is going to be Mike Zimmer. Just getting the band back together from the old Parcells days. Clint Kubiak is one of those guys who had to take a demotion. So Clint was the full-time play calling OC last year for the Vikings. Now he's the Broncos quarterbacks coach / passing game coordinator. Denver also a safe landing spot for him since his pops Gary won a couple Super Bowls with them, both as OC as well as a head coach. Andrew Giannacco. So I actually had high hopes for Giannacco, but now he joins the Bears as quarterbacks coach. Now he's dead to me. I'm just kidding. He's still cool. Maybe he can help get Justin Fields' game going, even though they don't have an offensive line. Even though they signed Riley Reid for like $9 billion. Kenny Polamalu, who a guy I like a lot, Raiders running backs coach now. Keaton McCardle, the only lead position coach retained by the Vikings. He's still coaching the wide receivers. Brian Periani, a Kubiak guy, free agent. Phil Rauscher, who I think did a really great job with the offensive line to a degree last year after Dennison stepped aside. He's now coaching the Jaguars offensive line, so hopefully they can protect Trevor Lawrence. Ben Steele, who his name sounds like an adult film star. Ben Steele, Broncos assistant offensive line coach. Not that I would know. And then defensively, so you got Dennison, who's a free agent because he's like 97 years old. Andre Patterson, our guy Dre. I would have loved to keep Andre Patterson, but I do think that Chris Rumpf is going to be really solid. But Andre Patterson's coaching the Giants defensive line. Adam Zimmer now the Bengals assistant offensive consultant or whatever. And a lot of people criticize that. It's like, defensive guy coaching offense. Well, it is good to see a different perspective. So Zach Taylor can be like, well, how did so many teams score on your defense? And we want to do that. That's what's going to happen. Carl Scott is now the Seahawks DB coach / passing game coordinator. Roy Anderson was an assistant DB coach last year. He's been with the Vikings since 2020. He remains because he does have an existing relationship with Durante Jones, who was also the Vikings DB coach back in 2020. Paul Gunther, You go. Then Ryan Ficken, who I think Ryan Ficken did a really good job with the special teams last year, taking over from Marvin Malouf, who was a disaster in 2020. But Ficken joins the Chargers as their special teams coordinator. Brandon Staley putting together a really nice staff, a really nice team out there in La La Land. And then Robert Steeples, assistant special teams coordinator, is now the LSU cornerback coach. But the main story, Adam Zimmer rejoining the Bengals. And like we said, Zach Taylor's like, how did they score so much on your defense? We want to do that. Give us the secret recipe, little Zim. There you go. But your thoughts are thoughts. Adam Zimmer rejoining the Bengals. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.